Before I even start the video, I want to say I don't think necessarily there is a horrible Rajkumar Hirani film, but when you notice his filmography and the 5 movies he has made, you can clearly tell which films were weak from a screenplay point of view and which were superior. I think only Rajkumar Hirani and Karan Johar are the directors in Hindi cinema who have had a 100% track record with their films and whose movies, since their debut, have been celebrated theatrically. Hirani started off in films at a time where I was in primary school and sporadically visited the theatre. So I went from watching reruns of Munnabhai MBBS on my VCD to watching Three Idiots and the subsequent films thereafter in theatres. Through this video, I wanted to talk about Hirani's filmography, why it stands out, and my favourite films of him in ascending order, purely based on my experience versus anything to do with their box office performance. You also do chime in with your favourites and the least liked Hirani films in the comments below. So here is Tried&Refused Productions with ranking Rajkumar Hirani movies from worst to best. Number 5 goes to Sanju. I think this is the one movie from Hirani's filmography that has the most polarizing views and justifiably so. A movie based on Sanjay Dutt's life and the monumental task for Ranbir Kapoor to pull off such a distinct public personality on the big screen, it was quite a distant leap from the themes that Hirani otherwise shed light on with his films. While I cannot fault the performances of the movie at all, with the supporting cast in the form of Paresh Rawal and Vicky Kaushal especially absolutely killing it, Ranbir Kapoor definitely showcased a spectacular performance of a troubled youth, his foray into addiction and debauchery, and circumventing some way or the other to make sense of his life as he slipped from one controversy to the other. The problem, however, that most people experienced was the attempt by the makers to make Sanjay Dutt as a character a victim of circumstance for every instance. Through several subplots which included the possession of illegal arms, drug addiction, and even his Casanova ways, the makers either created villains around the character who took advantage of his naivety or passed off his philandering ways as comedy. The attempt to make every slip-up in Dutt's life a conspiracy by evil foes was too gimmicky, and people could see through this wanting to create a hero out of mistakes which were clearly a result of conscious decisions made by an adult. Sanju went on to become the highest grossing Bollywood film of the year, even surpassing Padmavat, which just tells you the fan following a Raju Hirani film has, and I think a lot has to do with the conviction that Ranbir Kapoor brought to the role. I can't really say the same about the screenplay though. Anushka Sharma's English accent still haunts me. Number 4 goes to Lage Raho Munnabhai. I absolutely loved Raju Hirani's debut film Munnabhai MBBS, and its position in the list will tell you why I have such a soft corner for it. And it's not that I did not enjoy the sequel that came 3 years later. It was both hilarious and several moments had quite the impact on a young and impressionable audience like me with the message it imparted. But if I had to give an unpopular opinion to you, please don't judge me for this. This was a film that was a little too preachy for my liking. Working on the same LED principle that we speak about regarding Raju Hirani and Abhijat Joshi's writing, this was extremely enjoyable, especially with its integration of Gandhigiri and the feud that starts with Lucky Singh as Munna, Janvi and the old age home residents protest holding a satyagraha. It is when the principles of Gandhiism are spilled for several problems, I slightly disconnected with the film as it took the shape of a PSA, especially with the subplots of Victor played by Jimmy Shergill and the Manglik bride Simran played by Diya Mirza. I think the standout quality of the film was the portrayal of the friendship between Munna and Circuit, especially them reconciling. I remember still made me shed a tear. An entertaining film nonetheless, but you get where I am coming from. Number 3 goes to PK. This is a movie that I remember had audiences confused from its marketing campaign. People were confused why Amir Khan is roaming around naked in the poster. What could possibly be so special about this wide-eyed, odd-looking man, and what did Hirani actually cook up this time? As is the power of Hirani as a director, there is abundant faith that audiences have in him, so a vague marketing campaign is almost immaterial as everyone tunes in to see what he created, especially if you just did a blockbuster like Three Idiots before this. The inventiveness of PK still boggles my mind. An alien lands on Earth and is stranded as he loses his remote to his spaceship. The film shed light on several thought-provoking subjects that people even today feel hesitant to openly talk about. The discussion regarding the existence of God, faith, and those who use it for their vested interests, exposing those who divide based on religion people practice, the equality of people as God created us all, soulful, and these themes were beautifully expressed and performed by the cast. Even Amir's PK, while performative and having a spring in his step in each frame, worked so well for the alien character. I still remember him pleading to God for answers, wanting to go back home, was performed so convincingly. A film that is hugely contentious in today's environment but so brave in what it wanted to convey. Number 2 goes to Three Idiots. If I ever think about a theatre experience which is etched in my memory for the unanimous laughter, the unbridled joy, and even the heartbreak and tears that followed, it is when I saw Three Idiots in 2009 in a packed theatre in Delhi. The playfulness of Rancho, the camaraderie that builds between him and Raju and Farhan, how these personalities come in loggerheads with Viru Sahasrabuddhi, how Hirani immediately sucks you in emotionally with the tale of Joy Lobo is masterfully done, already establishing that this isn't just a regular commercial entertainer. The film shaped up as a commentary on the pressure on engineering students and the competitive and rigid nature of the Indian education system, while still being thoroughly entertaining, packing in laughs in so many instances. Yes, the Chatur Ramalingam speech and the all is well revival of the baby being born have not aged well, but the film left you with so many memorable moments that are still used not only in meme culture, but for motivational references. I often revisit some of the scenes, especially the emotional ones of this film, and it really shaped up to be one of my most memorable theatre experiences. Number 1 goes to Munnabhai MBBS. There is something beautiful about a director's first creation, something about it that is raw and unhinged which cannot be replicated as one progresses in their career, especially someone like Hirani who has only moved up to higher ground. I may have seen Munnabhai on repeat at least 30 times, so much so that I remember the dialogues line by line of several sequences. Such was the impact of this film as it presented a local gangster trying to fit in as a medical student. Everything from the front of a hospital to act as a ruse for the parents, the bullying of Rustam Pauri to write for his exam, the interactions of J. Asthana in the lectures, the dynamic with Chinky, the coming in clutch right-hand man circuit who will get an imported body if Bhai wanted it, the iconic ragging sequence, the unlikely friendship between Munna and Swami, the emotional quotient with Jadu Ki Jhappi and Anand and Zahir's subplot. Everything in this film worked so well. It is so effortlessly hilarious and so effective with its emotional quotient. I can't help but giggle thinking about Asthana's laughter therapy and just the organic way in which Munna becomes the hospital staff's favorite and finally gets closure as he embraces with his father in the end. The first film, for me, is still goated in his successful filmography. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below of your favorite and least favorite Rajkumar Hirani movies. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.